In Exodus 33:14, God spoke these immortal words to Moses. He said, "My presence will go with you, and I will give you rest." My precious friend, the presence of God goes with you. What is the presence of God? The presence of God is the very essence of God. His face, His authority, His character, His power, His everything. The very nature of God goes with you. And when the presence of God goes with you, the next thing that happens is that you receive His rest. Now, the rest is not just you doing nothing, it is actually a completion of the promise which was given to you. That's what it means. My presence, my essence will go with you, and I will complete the very thing that I promised you. God's presence is His very essence, His guarantee that the promise will come to pass. This is what we need more than anything else today. We need the very presence of God in our lives. His presence permeates through you. His presence takes over you. You can go, according to David in Psalm 139, you can go into the pits of hell. Even there, His presence, His hand will guide you. This is what changes everything. The very essence of God, the very presence of God in you. What does God's presence do? Well, it brings rest. God's presence gives you God's rest. God's rest gives you God's peace. God's peace gives you God's power. God's power gives you God's authority. God's authority gives you God's prosperity. God's prosperity gives you God's rulership. That comes only from the presence of God. Friend, we can lose many things in life. As we age, we lose our good looks. As we go through life, we lose money, we lose things. We can lose so many things. We can lose loved ones, and this is all very painful. But from all the things that we can lose in life, the greatest tragedy of all is losing the very presence of God. That's why David says, "Do not take your Holy Spirit away from me." The presence of God in you will complete every promise of God in you. Do not lose the presence of God. How can you lose it? You lose it by the busyness of life. When you are consumed by all the madness of this world, the presence of God is no longer in you. Why? Because your focus is no longer on God. It's no longer on the kingdom, but it's on the things of this world. Where your treasure is, that's where your heart will also be. May your heart, may your treasure be in the very presence of God. I pray that you never lose His presence, but always live in the complete presence of God. Hey, this is your friend Malvin Pillay, and as always, I will see you at the top.